Family Guy is written by manatees? Of course, it all makes sense now.
Number 10, Boy Meets World. As a show about a young man passing into adulthood, they occasionally dove into the realm of serious topics, but by far and large kept the material light. One notable example was from season 5, where the show poked fun at countless horror films. As the door opens, Eric acknowledges the group with a very familiar Mr. Hanky greeting. Later in the same scene, as one of the other friends is seemingly hurt, he then shouts out yet another catchphrase from South Park's early years.
Oh my gosh! They killed Kenny!
Funnily enough, in a handful of other episodes, Eric does his own Cartman impression as well. Maybe it's the name that brings it out. Number 9, Robot Chicken. It shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that South Park found its way into Robot Chicken.
Finally, the chef, whose cuisine and character is a little two-dimensional, Thetans, aka the souls of dead aliens.
Well known for its satirical content, this time we find Chef participating in Gordon Ramsay's Master Chef Celebrity Showdown. His dessert of choice is a Thetan, aka Spirits of the Dead, lava cake, which was an obvious dig at Isaac Hayes' history as a Scientologist. And just as it always does on South Park, chaos ensues as the Thetans get loose and terrorize the kitchen. It's a bit more of a parody than an infiltration into the show, but still a fantastic nod to its cast.
The winner is Scientology!
Number 8, 19th CableACE Awards. During the first few years of the show's run, South Park found itself popping up on countless award shows.
You young whippersnappers who so desperately seek to join our ranks.
They did a skit for the MTV Movie Awards in 2000 and even poked fun at the American Comedy Awards in 1998. One of their first appearances was as presenters for the 1997 CableACE Awards. The four boys came out on stage to present the nominations for Best Talk Show Series.
Tonight, we are here to present the award for Best Talk Show Series. Hey, wait a minute.
Between Cartman's complaints about it being all fancy and Stan having to translate for Kenny when he announces the winner, it's a cute bit that many fans today may not have even seen.
That sucks! Who's in charge here? Anyway, the nominees for Best Talk Show Series are... No! Everybody just hold on a minute!
Number 7, the Powerpuff Girls. Ask any parent of a kindergarten-age child and they can probably cite a handful of TV shows their kids are obsessed with.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Among them, the Powerpuff Girls is the last place you would ever expect to see a reference to South Park. Nonetheless, for any adults watching the Imaginary Friend episode, they spot and hear something familiar. Blossom crashes into a pile of laundry, and when she emerges, she's wearing a red sweater and a blue hat with a little pom-pom on it. She also uses the word seriously.
Blossom, are you okay? You tripped me. Seriously.
Cartman is the last thing you'd expect to see in this kind of show, but clearly the creators are fans.
No way. I don't believe it. I'm seriously, you guys. Come on, watch.
Number 6, Celebrity Deathmatch. The odds of ever getting some of Hollywood's biggest stars in a boxing ring to slug it out are slim to none.
Which beautiful head will roll when two teenage temptresses tear each other apart? Which malicious musician will live to play another note?
But it became a whole lot more possible when MTV put together the claymated stop-motion show Celebrity Deathmatch. During this round, bass player Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers takes on Kenny G.
If this goes where I think it's going, Kenny G may never play sax again.
Between playing the sax and a swarm of bugs, Flea eventually takes him out. It's here a wink to South Park appears as the hosts paraphrase one of the show's most notable catchphrases.
Oh my God, Flea killed Kenny G!
It goes further when an audience member looking an awful lot like Kenny McCormick chimes in as well.
You bastard!
Number 5, The Office. Who doesn't love a good Halloween episode?
Sweet Stoom, dude. Who are you supposed to be? Dave. Cool.
Almost every sitcom has given a take on this spooky holiday. The Office did a total of 6 Halloween-themed episodes, and found a way to sneak Chef from South Park into the mix.
I'm gonna make love to you, woman. Gonna lay you down by the fire.
In Season 8, Andy is pre-approving the costumes for the party, and Stanley comes in with a chef's outfit. In a quick blink and you'll miss it moment, Andy exclaims,
"Chef from South Park, it's genius."
Stanley claims it's not a reference to the soul-singing cafeteria cook, but we can't help but notice the resemblance once he gets into costume. Number 4, Family Guy. Among die-hard South Park fans, it's well established that the creators are not fans of Family Guy.
Family Guy is written by manatees? Of course, it all makes sense now.
This was made clear by the Cartoon Wars 2-parter back in Season 10. Despite this, however, it seems Seth MacFarlane must still enjoy the small mountain town.
I always wanted to go to Canada, but then South Park went, so we couldn't go.
References have been made in episodes on more than one occasion. Peter comes right out and mentions the ribbing they got from South Park in one monologue.
Family Guy has survived 19 cancellations, 2 assassination attempts, and a pretty good ribbon by those South Park guys.
A dead Kenny appeared in the intro for one of their episodes. They even acknowledged the show's accolades in their Emmy-winning episode, highlighting how South Park and others had won Emmys when they had not. Despite any differences, clearly, there's some respect from the Griffin side. Number 3, Last Man Standing. Even multi-camera sitcoms can't help but tip their hat to the folks over at South Park. In a Season 2 episode of Last Man Standing, Eve hides all of the makeup in the house, putting Mandy into a panic.
Okay, Dad, don't freak out until we have all the facts, but something horrible has happened.
Oh, all right, calm down. What is it? One at a time.
Apparently Eve has hidden all of the makeup in the house.
When he next sees her, she's clearly doing her best Kenny McCormick impression. Dressed in an orange hoodie and sunglasses, the only thing that distinguishes her from the original is her legible voice.
Can you help me out? I need a little bit of eyeliner, just a couple of lines.
Desperately seeking anyone to borrow makeup from, the bell rings and the hall is filled with kids, one of whom identifies her as Kenny himself.
Oh my God! Look, everyone! It's Kenny from South Park!
We knew the joke was coming, but that didn't make it any less funny. Number 2, Mad TV. Where do we even begin? This Mad TV parody used characters from the Peanuts gang and animated them in a similar fashion to South Park.
Schloder, did you know that God has selected me to lead all of South Park nuts to the gates of heaven? You can be my acolyte.
Over the course of 4 minutes, we are treated to gag after gag referencing countless bits from the first season of the Mountain Town show. It starts with an almost word-for-word rip on a now famous conversation between Kyle and Cartman.
Charlie Frown, you're a blockhead.
Yeah, well, you're a filthy
I am not.
From there, we get a version of Chef, the death and famous tagline of one character, the blood and gore of earlier episodes, all the way to an ending with Snoopy playing the part of Mr. Hanky.
Hidey-ho!
It's one of the single best parodies of South Park ever put to screen. Number 1, The Simpsons. Having originated as far back as 1987, The Simpsons helped shows like South Park and others become a reality.
I hear those kids' voices are done by grown-ups.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I just wonder how they keep it so fresh after 43 episodes.
And even though many of these newer programs may seem like competitors, a natural respect for each other seems to have formed. On more than one occasion, The Simpsons have found clever ways to appreciate the folks over at South Park.
Oh my God, I killed Kenny!
From Bart and his friends dressed as Stan, Kyle, and the others to catching a glimpse of the Mountain Town characters on Homer's TV, there's no shortage of homages in this show.
That's a TV show, or did I walk into a third-grade shoebox diorama? Did you steal my painting?
Even Homer once ended up in front of the school being cussed out by 4 young boys. That's a lot of friendly banter, which makes this a perfect number 1.
Dude, The Simpsons done everything already. Who cares? Yeah, they've been on the air for like 13 years. Of course they've done everything.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.